Catfish Tacos! I'm Pirate Rodney. Look at that taco. Wow. Man. Out of the park. You can do this. Let's get this recipe started. I'm Pirate Rodney. Welcome to the galley of SB Xanadu, where we make low-carb pirate recipes that are good for you and taste great. Come on, let's get into this recipe. Alright, we got to get our knives sharpened up here. I've got that for the vegetables. This is for the fish. We're going to do catfish tacos. Sharp knives right there. Ooh, yeah. Alright, I've got some fruits and vegetables out here to make the base, and we're going to marinate the catfish, season it, and get it in the air fryer, and I'll show you how we do it simple on the boat. First, I'm going to start with the garlic, and the reason is because I'm going to smash it. That releases the antioxidants in the garlic, and we want those to react with the air. We want to cut this up ahead of time so it can be reacting with the oxygen in the air to release those enzymes that we need. And it's going to make it taste great as well. Fresh garlic. Alright, that doesn't take much time at all. We're just going to push that to the side and let them air out. Then I've got the celery, 2 celery stalks. The reason I like the celery is because it has natural nitrates in them, and I'm just going to cut them thin at an angle like that. See, they make a nice little shape there, and they cook up fast. When I have these sharp knives and I'm going away from my fingers, it also makes it a little bit safer to do if you're not used to very sharp knives. The natural nitrates improve your blood flow. It makes your arteries, your veins, it makes them more flexible, kind of like beets or beet powder does. These should be in your diet, and they're very good at helping the kidneys detoxify. So if you want to reduce inflammation and swelling, celery is a good choice. Move that to the side. As you've seen, I've got the pepper coring tool. A large jalapeno we're going to put in there, so I'm going to cut that in half first. Cut the end off. Now I can get the tool in there all the way. Let me go ahead and core it, because I'm going to core it because I'm not going to be eating those seeds. As we get older, we got to think a little bit more and be a little nicer to our gut. You could leave the seeds in and just slice them like that. We're going to julienne these in this recipe. Cut on the inside versus cutting from the outside. There's a difference. It's a little tougher. You want to go cut it from the skin side. You don't want your knife to slip off. I do it either way. You can do it however you like. It's your boat. We got our purple onion, our red onion. What is that called actually? Thin slices. Thin slices. Cutting away. This pepper and onion combination contains a lot of vitamin C, and you know we like that. Get that to the side. Let's finish that out. Get out of here. Now when you get down to the end here, gotta be careful. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, more vitamin C. Red sweet peppers right here, coring tool. Same thing. Cut them in half, flatten them out. Julienne those guys. You may have heard me say this in a previous video, but cutting vegetables is like therapy. It's calming. It creates dexterity in your hands. Okay, look at all that vitamin C and garlic. Okay, I've got a few grape tomatoes here. I'm just gonna have those. Put them in the pot. Okay, once I've got them halved, then I can just quarter them up. That to the side. Oh, it's looking good already. Okay, so in this vegetable medley, I'm going to take a pan and I'm going to throw it all in there. Just throw it all in. Get in there. Give me a knife. Look at that. Just like that. The way we're going to season these up, we're going to start with our olive oil. Cold pressed extra virgin olive oil. And give that a good spray down right there. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. About a tablespoon of coconut aminos. I use this instead of soy sauce. It's a lower sodium option. Pure roasted sesame oil. Okay, this gives it a unique flavor. Just a teaspoon of that. It's very strong. Now I'm going to use my spice blend that I make here locally. I'm going to use some basil. And I like the Biscayne Bay. And of course some fresh lime juice. I'm going to put a teaspoon worth of my spice blend. Now you can make your own smoked paprika, garlic and onion powder, cumin, salt and pepper, and you're halfway home. And the basil, let's get some basil in there. I'm going to use half of this, so I'm going to use about a teaspoon of basil. And then the Biscayne Bay. Now this is a lower sodium, 15 milligrams of sodium to be exact, compared to Old Bay, which has 135. So I'm going to have plenty of salt in this recipe, so I like to get more of that flavor in there. That's why I chose that option over the Old Bay. Alright, I'm just going to toss that in the oil, vinegar, the spices. Give that a good toss. Let that soak in. This is so simple and tasty. You're going to love it. Now, you could probably just eat that like that if you're into these vegetables with some vinegar. That's the thing. Alright, I'm going to set that to the side while that's marinating. And I'm going to get ready for the star of the show, the Catfish Nuggets. I've got the nuggets over here, and they're already in paper towels drying off because we want to get these seasoned up, but we don't want them to have all this moisture. We've got to dry these off first so we can get the seasonings to stick to them. So basically, I'm going to lay these out on the cutting board. Now I use a cutting board here for the meat so I'm not on the wood. And what I want to do here, I'm going to leave the skin on and I'm just going to quarter them up. They'll be kind of chunky. Like that. Okay, we're just going to quarter them up, cut them in half, quarter them up. Or is that thirds? You really can't do this wrong. You just want some large chunks, but they are going to go in the tacos, so you don't want it too large, and you don't want it too small. You want to be able to get this and cook at the same time with the vegetables. All right. Now, if you've seen my knife set, I'll put a link in the description. This is a sharp knife set, but I've got a new set. The fillet knives are super sharp. And I'll show you the difference. Oh, we got a little bone in that one. I feel it. You always got to feel for bones. Cut that right on out. Now the reason I have a different set of knives, the fillet knives, is because what if I was going to fillet the skin off? Then I'd have to be able to flex the knife get it under that skin and get it filleted. But in this recipe, we like the skin on there. Catfish has a lot of potassium, and a lot of it's right there in that skin. Now you have to watch. Look, they didn't clean it all that well at the store. A lot of times we catch our own catfish here, but this is store-bought catfish nuggets. I wanted to make this recipe to show you how easy it is, even if you don't even own a fishing pole. It just cuts right through that, skin and all. Alright, last piece here. Nice and dry it off. That's a thick piece right there. I don't feel any other bones in there. Always checking. Alright, that's catfish nuggets. Alright, I told you how simple and easy this is. Watch this trick. I'm going to take the gallon baggie. This is like magic. Look at this. I'm just going to throw it in there. Going to throw it in there like that. Then I'm going to open that baby up and I'm going to add my spices. 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of the basil. Just throw it all in there. 2 teaspoons of the Biscayne Bay. Watch this trick. Alright. Just needed a little love tap to get that going. All those dry seasonings right there. Leave the air in the bag. Give it a shake. It's like I won the lottery over here. Alright, is it all mixed up? Pretty much. All mixed up over there. Just like that. Simple. Easy. Alright. I'm going to set that to the side over here. And I have a special guest appearing. It's called bacon. I cooked that ahead of time on the parchment paper in the air fryer for about 20 minutes on 325. So it's not overcooked. Take that right on out. And the reason I did this is because this is going to be a great flavor with our catfish. But the second reason is I'm going to put everything back on this tray and it's going to infuse with that bacon grease. And that is going to be the winner. I'll go back to my chef's knife here. Let's line the bacon up and cut it up. Cut it in big chunks, just like the catfish. Okay, just like the catfish is the star of the show, we always have to have the supporting actor, and that's going to be the bacon in this recipe. Let's get the pan out and let's assemble it. Alright, we got our limes for the last. This is so easy. This is how we do it on the boat over here. It's healthy, it's easy, very tasty. So we're going to just throw it out. We're going to throw it out on this pan in the bacon grease. Kind of layer it. Put a little of that down like that. And then the catfish. Kind of spread them out evenly. So they cook evenly. You can't go wrong with this recipe. Now we're going to do another layer of the vegetables. Get it all over the place. These one-pan air fryer meals are the greatest. Fun to make, tastes great. More catfish. Boom! Get in here. Oh! Get all over the place there. Okay, we got it spaced out pretty good. Last few bits in here. Okay, I'll show you the next secret trick. The special guest is the bacon. It's gonna go right in there, just like that. Ooh, I can already smell how good this is gonna be. Just the combination of those smells right there. That smells like pirates. I don't have to get all technical, I'll just throw it on there. Now, if you don't have an air fryer with a tray this big, you can do this smaller portions and maybe a couple batches in one of those 9-quart air fryers, which is about half that size. Or you can just throw it on a tray with the parchment paper like this and put it in your oven. Don't forget the last of the veggies and the sauce that's in the bottom with all that taste. The hand's dirty. All over there. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Man. All right. We got the combination of the vinegar, the sesame, and coconut aminos, Biscayne Bay, my seasonings, and last, lime. Let's get that lime juice all over there. About half a lime, that'll work. Gives it a little more acidic to go with that vinegar. Good flavor. Alright, you could always use some real lime liquid if you don't have fresh limes, and it'll work. Or maybe lemons. That's fine too. Just give it a little kick. I'm going to spray it down. Just a little more oil to help it all crisp up really nice. May throw in a little more seasoning. Whatever I need to do. But I'm going to get this in the air fryer. I'm going to set the air fryer over here. Set that on 350. And I'm going to cook that in about 10-minute sessions until I get the right texture and doneness. I don't want to overcook the bacon or the catfish or the vegetables. So I'm going to say it might take about 20 minutes, about 2 sessions. We'll see. Stick with us. In goes catfish. I'm going to put that on the lower rack so it doesn't overcook, because I can adjust the height on this one. On a regular air fryer, the burner is about that far away, so that's kind of what I've got going on there. I could raise it up higher if I was trying to broil something, but I don't need that to burn anything on the top. So the very last thing to do is add the cheese to the top at the end, maybe a little more spicy. And then we can put that straight away on these. If you saw a previous video where I made this low-carb tortilla recipe, this is going to be great for fish tacos. Look how these just came out. Look at that. These tortillas right here, that's going to be perfect. And these are low-carb, easy to make, and I made these ahead of time. Keep these in the fridge, use them anytime. We're going to wait on that to cook, and we'll be back in a flash to see how it turns out. Alright, we're halfway there. Let's take this out and toss it. It's already starting to cook up really nice. Just look at that right there. Okay, we want the juices. We want the juices to mix. Now mix it up and get that pork fat in there. Mixed all over. So we just give it a little mix up there. We'll toss. This also helps cook the catfish all the way through. You see everything's tendering up just really nice. Get it mixed back out there evenly. Yeah. Woo, look at that. Back in for 10 more minutes. Man, that's going to be good. Get in the oven right now. Turn it back on. Boom. Look at that. So I rotated it one more time, and we're going to put it back in for 5 minutes, but first we've got to put the cheese on it. Look at that. All right. Sauce mixed up. Woo. This is such an easy recipe in the air fryer. That's how we do it on the boat. I'm going to use some extra sharp cheddar. I like that bite. I like an aged sharp cheddar. But I like that bite that the sharp cheddar gives it. I'm going to finely grade the sharp cheddar over the top. And if I put this on right, we're gonna be putting on probably about a cup of cheese. Yeah, look at that. We got little islands of cheese here. Bam. All right, we got the cheese on here. We're gonna get that back in the oven for probably about 5 minutes. And then we're gonna make these tacos. Show me your bobbers, will ya? Woo! Smells great. We're gonna load them into our low-carb tortillas. Yeah, look how flexible those are and tasty. All right, drum roll please. Yeah, we've got some Caribbean rum right here. We're getting down low on this Barquan Caribbean rum right there. We're gonna start the festivities off tonight with fish taco. We gotta have a little spice rum. Oh, I know. That's not spice rum. That's gold rum. Here's the spice that I use. It's called cinnamon. It's gonna be a cinnamon rum. Cinnamon is great. Great for men's health. Great for the prostate, but great for all people's health. They need a little cinnamon in their life to regulate the blood sugar. Oh yeah, just like that. I can use my stevia, tiny bit. Bam, there it is. Cinnamon rum, spice rum. Cheers. All right, woo! All right, let's get this out of the air fryer. Look how that came out. Look at the melted cheese, sauce. Oh, can you smell that? Let me build this fish taco for you. You can do this at home. Simple ingredients, easy, doesn't take much time. Enjoy life. Boom, put that tortilla down. Let's get a little of that goodness on there. Fish taco style. Oh, get that on. Look at that. That is a taco. I'm gonna top this off with a little mashed avocado. I like a little more potassium, a little mashed avocado. Squirt of lime juice in there. A little bit of seasonings on that. I'm gonna go with the old standard Louisiana hot sauce on the catfish. A little bit right there, won't hurt you. Look at this. Look at that taco. That. Talking about. Let me just get in here and show you. Look at this tortilla. Look how huge that is. My goodness. Oh. Man. That's got some flavor. These tortillas hold up really well. Just look at that. Man, out of the park. You can do this. Arrgh. Stop eating like a prisoner and eat like a pirate.